Let's go Lions! Let's get to what's coming up in Week 9, when we take on the Green Bay Packers. As you know, these divisional games are always intense, and Green Bay is bringing some heat this Sunday at Lambeau. Be sure to hit the like button if you believe we'll win this matchup and let us know in the comments what you expect the score to be. Speaking of Green Bay, they're putting a lot of emphasis on their running game this week. Tight end Tucker Kraft pointed out that with Detroit coming in, they need to continue improving their ground attack. Their rushing numbers are impressive, 1,255 yards already this season, the most for Green Bay in 8 games since 1971. And they're good at breaking up big runs, ranking 3rd in the NFL in explosive runs. Running back Josh Jacobs had a lot of respect for our Lions defense, calling them physical and disciplined, ready to bring that playoff-type energy. He knows it's going to be an uphill battle out there. Now, here's something interesting. Matt LaFleur has been praising us for his players, calling the Lions arguably the best team in the NFL. High praise, right? He's well aware of the challenge we bring, and he told his team they'll need a great week of practice to be ready. LaFleur also had a lot to say about our standout safeties, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, who have a combined 9 interceptions. He was impressed with how defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn uses them, noting their knack for reading the quarterback and making plays. We have smart, aggressive defenders, and LaFleur knows that. Green Bay's offense is no slouch either. Under LaFleur's leadership, they rank 5th in total offense and 6th in points, so we know they can move the ball. But LaFleur was quick to point out how explosive our offense has been this season, and he credited Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson for putting players in the right positions. LaFleur acknowledged the power of our offensive line and how Jared Goff is playing top-notch football, not to mention our deep roster of weapons from Amon-Ra St. Brown to David Montgomery. Speaking of Montgomery, LaFleur told his players to be ready for a challenge when trying to bring him down. He specifically warned them that Montgomery will try to run them over and often does. That power and intensity from Montgomery will definitely be something to watch on Sunday. So, Lions fans, it's going to be an epic battle this Sunday. With all eyes on Lambeau, there's no doubt that the Lions are heading into a game that has all the makings of a classic NFC North rivalry matchup. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you see this game playing out? Will we come out on top? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We have a big story brewing about a potential trade and a detailed preview of the Packers' schemes as we approach Week 9. Let's dive in. First, there's some buzz about a potential change in the Lions' pass rush as the trade deadline approaches. With less than a week remaining, Lions GM Brad Holmes is looking for an edge rusher who can help fill the shoes of Aidan Hutchinson, who has been a beast for us. Now, don't get me wrong, there's no way to replace Hutchinson completely. But there's a chance to bring in a veteran who could at least complement our pass rush unit, and the name on everyone's lips is Cleveland Browns edge rusher Za'Darius Smith. According to Vinny Iyer from Sporting News, Detroit may be looking to pull off a trade with Cleveland to bring in Smith, and it's not hard to see why. With Max Crosby looking too expensive and the Giants likely holding onto Azeez Ojulari, Smith seems like a smart, realistic option for us. A 3-time Pro Bowler, Smith has already shown he's on pace for a big season, recording 5 sacks so far, just half a sack short of his 2023 numbers. His experience and skill set could be what Detroit needs to keep our defense strong, especially if Hutchinson faces more time on the sidelines. And here's the exciting part, the Browns aren't looking for a massive haul. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that a solid day 3 pick could get the deal done, maybe a 4th rounder. Thankfully, we've got both 4th and 5th round picks next year, so we're in a good position to make this move happen without breaking the bank. Bringing in a proven player like Smith would bolster our depth on defense, and since he's under contract through 2025 on a 2-year, $23 million deal, he wouldn't just be a rental player. If everything goes well, he could be a Lion for the long haul. So, Lions fans, picture this, Smith joins our D-line, adding strength to our pass rush as we hit the mid-season grind and push for playoffs. This could be the defensive move we need to keep the momentum going and make a deep postseason run. Alright, now let's talk about the big matchup coming up, Week 9 against the Green Bay Packers. This game will be crucial, and understanding their schemes is key. The Packers are coming in hot at 6-2 and will be looking to challenge our 6-1 record. Matt LaFleur is still the head coach, with Adam Stenavich as the offensive coordinator, but they've made some shifts in their defensive coaching staff, bringing in Jeff Hafley to replace Joe Barry and implementing a new 4-3 base scheme. Let's start with their offense. LaFleur runs a version of the West Coast offense that mixes in a lot of vertical elements. It's a scheme similar to ours, so we know what to expect. Under LaFleur, Green Bay leans on play action, pre-snap motion, and bunch formations, trying to keep defenses on their toes. With Jordan Love at QB, LaFleur has the flexibility to hit defenses short and then catch them off guard with big downfield plays. Love has a range of offensive weapons to target and has been effective spreading the ball around, keeping defenses guessing. However, Love's been dealing with injuries this season, which has led LaFleur to bring in Malik Willis as a backup. Willis adds an interesting dynamic, as the offense becomes more focused on RPOs and design QB runs to play to his strengths. When it comes to the Packers' running game, they've mostly relied on outside zone concepts but have been mixing in gap plays recently, which could give us something new to watch out for. With Green Bay averaging 27 points per game, they're a dangerous offense, but this isn't anything our Lions defense can't handle. We've seen similar offenses already this season and have been able to keep them in check. Moving to their defense, this is where things get interesting. Hafley's 4-3 base defense has transformed their approach. He's all about speed and aggression, deploying a one-gapping front that keeps offenses on edge. They like to use sub-packages a lot, pulling a linebacker out and adding a defensive back, making them versatile against both the run and the pass. They play a ton of cover 1 and cover 3, with press man coverage from their corners, and a single high safety look that allows Xavier McKinney to roam and make plays. And boy, has he been making plays, he's leading the NFL with 6 interceptions. Our own Dan Campbell has called McKinney's skills instinctive and a big reason the Packers' defense has been disruptive this season. Here's the kicker, though, Hafley doesn't rely on blitzing heavily, sticking around a 17.5% blitz rate in most situations. But lately, he's been dialing up the pressure on third downs, blitzing over 50% of the time. This replacement blitz strategy is about keeping offenses guessing. They'll load the line with 6 or 7 guys, making it tough for the offense to figure out who's coming. Then, right at the snap, they overload one side with the blitz and drop the other side into coverage. This has worked well for them, and our Lions offense needs to be ready to recognize and counter these tactics. Statistically, the Packers' defense is on the upswing. They're ranked 12th in DVOA defense and in both run and pass defense, while also leading the league with 19 turnovers. It's a style that's been creating plenty of problems for opposing quarterbacks, but we've got some advantages, too. For instance, if we can catch them in their cover 1 scheme, the deep ball should be in play, and the same goes for our run game against cover 3 looks. Lions receivers like Amon-Ra St. Brown could have a big day attacking the seams, especially if Green Bay safeties are left covering the slot. Alright, Lions fans, you've got the lowdown on both the possible Za'Darius Smith trade and our upcoming matchup against Green Bay. The big question now is, should Detroit go all in to bring Smith to Motown? Or should Holmes hold off and see how our defense holds up with the guys we already have? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you're always in the know about our Lions.